Hello, Senior Stoner fans. The real Senior Stoner back at you for your Lookah Mini Unicorn Diamond Dab of the Day. Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me. As always, you enjoyed today's video, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, send a like, and I reply to all comments. Let's get started with today's topic. How do you deal with rejection? Matter of fact, how do you deal with rejection in a positive way? Let's discuss. Getting rejected is never fun. Matter of fact, it can give us low self-esteem, can lower our mood, and make us doubt ourselves. But rejection always brings us closer to what we want out of life. A rejection always helps set us on the right path again, and maybe even with the right people. So while we deal with rejection, we need to know the story isn't over yet just with that. Just a minor setback that'll propel us closer to what we're looking to do, what we're destined to do. Let's discuss why rejection hurts so much and how we can deal with it. Well, why do you think it hurts so much? Rejection is supposed to hurt. People evolved to fit into social groups. When the tribe rejected you, you'd miss out on food, safety, and other survival benefits. So when you got rejected, it's supposed to hurt due to evolutionary history. Not supposed to be a good thing. However, being socially connected is still essential. We can still survive through life despite rejections. Rejection today isn't nearly as devastating as it was centuries ago. So guess what? We're going to be okay. We got to understand how to deal with rejection. Well, you can meditate on it. Guided meditation's a very good way to deal with rejection. In fact, a lot of people might be putting it off because they're afraid of hearing their own negative thoughts. But it's a good way forward to allow yourself to focus on your breathing, to stay in the present moment. Spending time meditating on the negative emotions and watching yourself negative talk leave your mind on its own. You can try that by letting go of negative energy while you're meditating, paying attention to your thoughts to stop ruminating, and getting control. You want to try again when you're rejected. Rejection doesn't mean you give up. It's a sign you need a different approach to pursue a new opportunity. Sidebar. 45 years ago, Mrs. Stoner and I met on a dance floor in Syracuse, New York. She looked at me. I asked her to dance. She was with another guy dancing. She said, "You're an impolite son of a bitch. Get away." I came back. She said, "Didn't I tell you I wasn't interested? Forget about it. Can't you see I'm with somebody?" The third time. "Will you leave me alone if I dance with you?" We know the history. Try again. It doesn't mean necessarily asking the same person out many times. You might need to accept that people set boundaries. However, we can ask out compatible people, multiple people. We can apply to multiple jobs until we find the right one. It only takes one person saying yes to move us forward with the next phase of our life. Everyone who's experienced rejection eventually found success by calming the mind and trying again. Doing a self-examination on why you think you were rejected in the first place can play a huge role in one's own future success. So remember, dust yourself off. In your next attempt, you will be much more prepared. Show some self-care, for God's sake. We can learn how to deal with rejection by practicing self-care. Human beings can be very hard on themselves when setbacks occur. The other person may have no clue about your sadness or frustration from being rejected from them, but in a healthy way to handle rejection by showing kindness to yourself. Loving kindness, in fact. Other things we can do to manage our feelings of rejection include reading an uplifting book, time with a friend, with uplifting people, and stop thinking about it so much, and remember to cope with the pain by planning new opportunities. That's right. Wear your best clothes to build your confidence and showcase an attitude of gratitude for the relationships in your life where you do receive kindness, and even gratitude for the relationship you had before you were rejected. Don't take it personally. Dealing with rejection is never easy, but don't take it personally. It always seems personal when things happen, but finding the right person, job, team isn't guaranteed on the first or the 20th try. Rejection is just a part of life. In fact, you can learn a lot about yourself from rejection. You need to fine-tune so you don't get rejected the next time. The reason that we are confused sometimes, and sometimes timing doesn't work out, but you can't look at one dead end as the finale. You only feel worse if you take things so seriously. Remember, it often is more about the needs of the rejector than it is about the person being rejected. Try to distract yourself. When mastering how to deal with rejection, distracting oneself with something productive could be a wonderful idea. While burying your feelings leads to an eventual leak or explosion of emotions, moving on to something else can be a healthy way of dealing with rejection. For example, you can spend time with a friend or strangers. You can choose to avoid the painful situation by playing a video game or playing with a dog or a cat. Remember, distractions are suitable for short term as you process things. You probably won't need to distract yourself from those emotions forever. Remember, rejection stings. So avoiding the pain can slowly reduce your reaction to it. Your life's going to get better with time. Most important thing to remember is that you got to move along eventually rather than just feel stuck in the past. You got to find a way to process your emotions and feelings. Accept the rejection that hurt. Move on to the next thing. Start figuring the next process for you to improve your life. Now start saying positive affirmations. Positive affirmations are a wonderful way to deal with wrong perceptions of rejections. Get out of our own way for our future opportunities. It's incredibly important. We've got to look in the mirror and repeat to ourselves, getting rejected doesn't decrease my value. It simply is redirecting me towards a better opportunity, person, or team. Think about it. I am confident in my ability to succeed. I am worthy of love and success. I will accomplish my goals. You see, all you're doing is acknowledging that everything is accurate for you. You're reminding yourself that whatever setbacks happened isn't a reflection of you. It's one small aspect of life that challenges us. You got to be honest with yourself. A positive way to deal with rejection is just to be honest with ourselves. Deal with the pain of the rejection. It doesn't have to be overblown. It's a bummer. But we need to remind ourselves that everyone goes through a bummer some point in their life. Every friend, every relative's been through it. Every coworker's had it happen. Every candidate, every applicant, everybody has had it happen to them. So if you need to let it out, you can do it. Maybe make a journal to yourself. You see, you'll find happiness. Just because you haven't found happiness in one spot doesn't mean you're not going to find happiness elsewhere. And it's going to make all the difference. And you want to monitor your thinking. You don't want to say to yourself constantly, what's wrong with me? Why am I not good enough? Instead of ruminating, the classic rumination, and getting sucked into the negativity vortex, you want to move forward in positivity. You also want to make sure that if you've been rejected in any way, you find those who are your friends, your loved ones, and your family. And you know what? Hang out with them. Get with them. Your rejection feeling will improve. Because it's easier to learn how to deal with rejection when you have a solid and loving system right by your side. So Just because you're not cut out to be on a certain team, when you get home and sit at your dinner table with your family, you're going to realize that's the only team you need to be on. Take care of yourselves. This is really important for all of us. We need to take care of ourselves because after having a rejection, did you take care of yourself or did you fall into a slump? It's normal to make poor decisions immediately after hearing bad news, particularly news that leaves us rejected. But our uncomfortable and unpleasant feelings are only temporary. We will not take actions that move us into the opposite direction of where we're headed. Take care of ourselves. It's incredibly important, and we've got to learn from our mistakes. That's right. As we begin to become masters and learn to cope with rejection, now being faced with reality, guess what? It's growth. We've grown. We've had self-improvement. We've gotten better. Wow. Now we can celebrate. That's right. In learning how to deal with rejection, most people don't think they get a chance to celebrate. But when you feel rejected, remember, you put yourself out there. So whether it's asking someone out a job interview or failing to make the cut for a team, you went above and beyond and showed up. So just because someone doesn't say yes to you doesn't mean that you are not valuable. It simply means that it wasn't the right opportunity at the right time. And you know what? That is fine. Practice some self-compassion because we know rejection stings. We are on the right track. And chin up. Thank you, everybody, for joining me today, talking about how we beat rejection. You know what? It ain't easy. But the important thing to remember about rejection, it's like breathing. Everybody does it. Everybody gets rejected at some time in their life. Well, Senior Stoner's here to tell you, we found ways that that's not going to hurt so bad. Welcome to my Lookah Mini Unicorn. I got the heavy cloud atomizer in. Here we go. Cheers. Wow. Excuse me. Like a plunger. Wow. Little thing. Packs a wallop. Been the real Senior Stoner. And the Mini Unicorn. Thanks for joining me, everybody. Cheers. Have a wonderful day out there.